Welcome to the Blue Collar Baddies podcast. This is episode number 31. This episode is sponsored by BlueCollarGrind, badass coffee for hardworking people. This is the newest blend for all you truckers out there. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check it out. Today we're here with Racheal, and tell me what you do.
I am a union equipment operator. I work in the state of Illinois.
Nice. So tell me how you got started.
Like in general with my job now, or just?
Yeah, how you got into the trades.
So I actually started out when I was 15. I became a mechanic with my dad. We had a family-owned business that's called Glica Service. And I started out on small engines, so lawnmowers, four-wheelers, all that, until I gradually moved up to working on vehicles and stuff.
Nice.
After that, I started working at Caterpillar for a little bit, built haul truck 797s, 794s, and then that led me into actually becoming an equipment operator later on in the future. It wasn't a job that I ever see myself working in, be real honest with you.
Yeah.
It kind of just happened in a sense. I just applied for it and went with it, and I will say I do love my job. Don't get me wrong, there's days where I'm like, why the hell did I sign up for this job?
As with anything, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't regret being where I am at today. I mean, that job has got me so far in life. So yeah. But no, before all that, ever since I was a little kid, my dad used to read me the Chilton books instead of, Disney princess books and stuff. So I had probably a wrench in my hand before I did anything else. So
that's awesome. I was always in the shop with my dad too.
Yeah, I mean, you really do learn a lot. And, there were the times where it was, can you hold the flashlight?
Yeah.
And now it's, go take out that alternator or something dumb,
Right.
So, but that's pretty much how I started to be where I am at today.
Yeah. When you were a little kid, what did you think you wanted to do?
To be honest, I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
But me in schooling, no.
Right.
I seen how long you had to go to school for that.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I knew mechanic stuff, was in my blood, but it wasn't my dream job. Really, I mean, I do believe, everything in your life happens for a reason and, purpose and all that. And I think I'm meant to be where I'm supposed to be instead of being a veterinarian, but I can't lie. I wasn't going to school for that long. There's no way. So.
Yeah. Well, what made you decide equipment operator specifically? How
to it? Be honest, I didn't really think about it. It was just it was something I wanted to try, and if it I had a feeling that I would be good as a loader operator, and where my job is now, we do bids.
Right.
And I wanted it. I mean, I started off in a haul truck, and then I help do utility and stuff. I also help do stemmings for our blasts.
Okay. I
lay stemmings down for the blasters, and it's just rock that we lay down in between holes, and it's kind of strategic in a way. And I found out that one of my coworkers was like, I think you're the only one I like doing this from now on, because I do it right and I do a good job. But I run the skid steer for that, and then I finally have my loader position. It wasn't planned.
Yeah.
I just went for it.
Nice.
And that's kind of how that happened.
It's cool. What do you think has been the biggest struggle so far being a woman in a male-dominated field?
I ain't going to say that men have really doubted me. I mean, throughout the years, honestly, men doubted me more when I was a mechanic. You can't work on that. Oh, you don't know. You want to see? Yeah. So I proved a lot of people wrong with that, and honestly, I think my biggest struggle is my own self. Yeah. My mom has always said I'm my own worst enemy. And when I started out there, this equipment, it's huge.
Right.
So in a sense, and I'm sure even men, they won't admit it, but I bet they were nervous too. You're operating something that, huge, and you can hurt somebody. It's dangerous.
For sure.
So getting in my head when I'm like, Racheal, I don't know if you can do this, other, like, than that, besides, like, telling myself, like, once you get in and you do it, you're doing it.
Right.
You know? But really, that's been my main struggle, is beating myself up until I do it.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like it takes a lot to admit that.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. I'm not going to lie. Because, I mean, everyone I work with, they're really great with me.
Yeah.
I feel like at my job, we're like one big family. Don't get me wrong. There's days where, I don't like Fred. I don't have someone that I work with named Fred, but I don't like Fred because he said this. Like,
have you had a lot of friction from men since you started?
No, not really. Which I actually told my coworker I was going to talk about this on the podcast. It's kind of funny, really. And like I said, I love him. Like, he's great. He's like a family member to me. We call him Tiny. And he told me when we got like really close that when he found out that they hired me and he found out who my name was, he had looked me up on my social media.
Oh, yeah.
And he had seen what I looked like versus what I look like when I go to work, And he was like, but be real honest with you, I didn't think you were going to last because of how you looked. And I was like, well, going out me and work me are two completely different people. Yeah. But, I mean, I wasn't mad about it because I kind of think it's funny because it's like, I love the fact that, I go to work, I approve myself of why I should be here, and then on the outside of work, totally different, you know?
For sure.
So, I mean, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And some of my coworkers, they call me a catfish, and I'm like, whatever.
Rude.
I was like, I'm sure you guys look like a catfish outside of work, too, when you get cleaned up. Like, don't even give me that. Don't even give me that.
That's funny. So, aside from, like, friction from the men, have you had any friction from women on the job site?
No, actually. The only other two women that we work with, they work in office, and I give them props. I think their jobs are a lot harder than what me and the men do out there. They're very, very nice women. They don't put up with no crap.
That's awesome.
So I respect them for that. Our lady that does the scale house, I mean, she's really good, and I love hearing the truck drivers come in and they're like, yeah, we don't want to make her mad, I love that. I do. Cool. I love that. So, but no, I haven't had any friction from any females.
That's good.
To be honest, I feel like the females have respected me more than, like, men throughout my past, just because it's like, oh, you know how to change oil? Cool, I'm going to call you instead of calling, like, my boyfriend. I was like, hey, sweet.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
That's cool. What would you say is your favorite, like, can't live without it tool?
Pliers, hands down. Pliers. My dad has had a pair of pliers that he's had way before I was even born. And they're useful. Yeah. You can use them for about anything. I keep them in my purse. A lot of my female friends are like, why is your purse so heavy? I carry more tools in my purse than I do, like, perfume, lotion, all that. Plus, you never know, like, what could happen. Like, hey, my purse is heavy. Don't mess with me, you know. But I keep a little, like, crescent wrench and then my pliers everywhere I go. Nice. Can't live without them. I mean, I've used them as a hammer, and that's not what they're supposed to be for, but very useful tools. I recommend them.
Nice. Is there anything you feel like you're missing out on by not having a typical job?
I mean, it sucks. I work night shift, so I don't work a regular, like, day shift schedule to where, you get off in the evening and you get to go spend time with your family, your friends. So, I mean, that does suck, but in the end, it's worth it. Right. Because I tell myself every day I'm building a better future for myself. And my job's pretty good, like, if there's something going on, like family events that, hey, this only happens once in a while, can I please be there? They're very good about that.
That's good.
But it does suck working nights because I work 2 to 11. And, I mean, it's not that late, but to a lot of people it is. Yeah. So, that's really the only downfall until one day I can go to day shift. Right. So. Well,
and I mean, if you get off at 11, by the time you make it home and shower and
eat
supper,
it's, Yeah, like, my life actually after work is go home, and I only live 3 minutes away from home.
Oh, nice.
But it still kind of sucks because by the time, like, I take care of everything in my house, like my dogs and all that, shower, eat, it's already late, and then sometimes if you want to get to watching a show, then it's really late, and then I wake up and I do it all over again, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Makes sense. Do you have any embarrassing job site stories you want to share?
Oh, boy. I gotta think of a couple of them. There was a time I ripped my jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my job gives out jeans, but they're men's work jeans.
Okay.
I do not like when men's work jeans. They're uncomfortable to me,
Yeah.
you know, like, so I just go to a thrift store and I'll get jeans, or Rural King, go buy work jeans. But this pair of jeans was on its last leg, and, you know, like I said, climbing up in big equipment, and I split my jeans out pretty good. So that was an awkward moment, because,
Yeah.
you know, I work with a bunch of men, and they're real good about, you know, all that. And my dad's like, here's my hoodie, wrap it around you, you know, because I wasn't going to go home.
Right.
So my other one is, it's not really embarrassing because this happens to everybody. It was wintertime. I just parked my loader. Oh, I was mad. We had to go fix something. Something broke. Well, not paying attention, parking lot was slick. One of the day shifters was also in the loader and watched the whole thing happen. And I went down right in front of my bucket, and I was so mad. And there was a couple people standing outside, and they were all just laughing. I'm like, glad you think it's funny, because my butt cheeks hurt right now.
Dang.
I'm sure I have plenty more embarrassing stories I just can't think of, but
Yeah, that's fine.
it's life. It happens. You know
Right.
what? Like, that's another side of me that they get to see. So it is what it is.
Yeah. What's your absolute favorite thing about your job?
Probably that I'm a girl running equipment.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I am this badass, because I mean, you really don't see a whole lot of women,
Right.
like, especially where I'm from. Like, there's only one other girl that I went to high school with that went into welding, and I mean, she was so good, but like, I don't know any other girls that do it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that makes me feel on top of the world. Like, I'm unstoppable in a sense.
Hell yeah.
My other thing too is I do really like the money I make.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, I seen this video on TikTok, and you actually had reposted it. It was a girl saying, I don't want to be a man, I want to make money like a man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love that,
Yeah.
because that right there that's exactly how I feel. You know, I don't want to be just like a man. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that women can't do the exact same things as men, but like, in my personal opinion, yes, men half the time are way more strong than me.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, I respect that. But when it comes to operating equipment, pulling a motor out of a vehicle, I'm right there with you.
Right,
You
yeah.
know? So, I mean, there are certain things like that where I'm like, that's understandable. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, you know, I am stronger than you. You
Yeah,
know? I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty strong for a girl, but,
Right.
you know, that I do respect. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Do you work out, or the job is the workout, or you?
Honestly, I wish I had more time to work out, but
Yeah.
I mean, my job can be a workout.
Right.
Because at the plant we have stackers and, you know, catwalks, and walking up and down those can be pretty good workout.
For
you know,
sure.
especially with this heat here lately. Like, we work in all weather conditions, so
Yeah.
that can be a hassle. But no, I wish I like had more time too, in a sense, because like I said, I mean, working my shift, it's kind of hard to have that extra free time.
For sure.
So, but other than that, no, my job can be a workout. But I was actually telling my boss the other day, I was like, sitting in this loader, I think, is starting to make me gain weight. You know, and I was like, so I don't know what to do there, but we're gonna have to fix that issue, because I don't want to get that big.
Well, for me personally, like, I'm in spray foam, so we work less in the winter because the stuff
Yeah.
doesn't cooperate. So in the winter, I can feel it in my body, like I'm a little weaker.
Yeah, yep, yeah, no, that is completely understandable.
Do you have any like skincare, hair care, deodorant?
So skincare, be real honest, when it comes to that, I'm not too good at that, just because, like, so where I work at, I deal with rock dust. I deal with lime dust.
Right.
It eats my skin, my hair. I use leave-in conditioner, you know, as much as I can. Just try to keep my hair up. Skin, I wash my face constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can do, you know, moisturizing it just to keep it hydrated. Because if not, like, there's been times where I've had to go work at the plant and I am covered in head to toe in lime dust.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, you know, if I have my hair in a bun, I'm like, yep, it's stuck in there. It's super dry, and it bothers me so much. That actually is the only thing that I really don't like about where I work is it just dries you out so bad. So
I haven't experienced that, but like drywall dust or concrete dust, it's like ugh.
Yeah, it makes you feel gross, especially when like this heat right now, you know, you're sweaty and that's all over you, and it's like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, that lime dust, it gets in places it shouldn't be. It should not be. So, yeah.
If you had advice for someone who wants to do what you're doing, what would you tell her?
I would tell her the exact same thing my mom has always told me when I was growing up. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. You will achieve and obtain that goal that you were after if you really want it that bad, you know. And there are going to be people that, you know, they talk down on you or tell you, you can't do this. I would hope that they would get past that and not let that like knock them down, because I mean, I had the same thing happen to me, and I'm sure that's happened to many other women.
Yeah.
And look where they're at in life.
Right.
So if they were wanting to go into the trades, it would be, do it, go for it. Don't let anything stop you. Work hard at it every day. That would be my best advice.
Love that. Do you have any upcoming goals in your career?
Let's see. Well, really, I've already kind of attained the goal that I wanted, which was the loader, you know, position. Maybe I can take that farther in life, but really my only goal is to become better at being a loader operator. Nice. Can't talk today, I'm sorry. Because not only do we load semis and we do stockpiling, but there's more to it that comes with being in a loader. I mean, our line pile, it looks like a huge mountain, and you know, when you do that, like when you're going up on the first floor, you got to make that floor flat and stockpile again, and then you're making berms and fixing roads, and there's more to it. So, and I want to get better at that with my job, you know. Like the only thing I struggle with in my loader right now is like when I'm trying to make a road flat, I gotta have my bucket a certain way so it's not all messed up, which I'm getting better at it, thankfully. So
I have tried that. Like we built me a separate driveway, so I'm not parking over by and at my boyfriend's house, and I was like, yeah, I want to do it, and it's hard.
It definitely can be hard, yeah. You know, like in a skid steer, I feel like it's a little bit easier in a skid steer, you know, because it's a little bucket, but in a loader, like, you got to set your bucket just right, and you can't really see where your bucket's sitting at in front of you, so it's like, hopefully I'm not digging in too deep, you know. I mean, it's definitely something that is doable, you know, but it takes time and practice, and that's what I've been doing. And it's like, my night shift foreman, he was always really good about, I was like, hey, can I go fix these roads, you know, get some practice? And he's like, yeah, more than welcome to. Like, if we're not stockpiling for some reason, go fix it. Go fix the haul road. Yeah. I will say, fixing our haul road is a lot different than fixing, like, a driveway road. And it's a little bit harder because you got dips and all that, but it kind of makes me mad because, like, after I fix a road, then the haul trucks just mess it back up, and then it rains, so it's really messed up. I'm like, what even is the point? Yeah. I was like, man, I'm just going to call my buddy that runs the desert, come fix these roads, because I can't in my loader. So what about, like, PPE and boots, and do you have any other? So our boots, we pay for our boots, but we get I think it's called, like, a reimbursement check to where we get that money back, and we get to do that every year, so that's really nice. But like our hard hats were provided. We have a place in the office where we go and get our gloves, safety glasses, even safety sunglasses. Vests, they give us high-vis shirts with the logo on it. Like this year, we actually won something with quality, and they gave us hoodies that were high-vis, so that was really nice. I mean, they're really good with giving us the stuff that we need to do our job, so we're safe.
And they have the sizes that you need?
Yes,
That's
cool. I normally wear a medium. Like I said, the jeans situation, I will not wear those men's jeans. I just can't. Being a girl, and I'm sure there's other women that would agree with me on that, no, will not. Well, I'll just buy my own jeans. It's fine, you know. Yeah.
So we will link your social media and all that stuff in the description. Do you have any other businesses you want to shout out?
Shout out Heidelberg Materials, because that's where I work. I'd like to shout out my Aunt Racheal's small town business called NoCo Sugar Rush.
Nice.
Can I shout out, like, any people?
Sure.
Shout out to my family. I would not be where I am at today if it wasn't for them, especially my dad for teaching me every single thing I know. I mean, he's taught me something that nobody else would understand that I think is cool. I really appreciate him for that, and shout out to my mom for always pushing me to go for my goals, and my little sister, of course, too.
Gotta throw her in there, too.
Yeah, can't forget her. She'd be mad.
That's funny. All right. Well, any other advice or anything you want to add?
Like I said, the only advice I can give to any female that is looking to go into the trades is do not let anybody stop you. Mm-hmm. You work hard for it, and you will get where you want to be in life. It is worth it, and you will have obstacles. There's going to be days where you don't want to anymore and you want to give up. Do not let that stop you.
Yeah. You
tell yourself that there can be days that are always, can be worse, and you're going to have hard days, but if you push through it, you'll be amazed at the outcome.
Love that. All right. Well, thank you for driving up here.
Yeah.
Or down here, wherever you came from.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. All the links and products we mentioned today will be listed in the description. If you're a woman in a blue-collar industry and you're interested in being the focus of the next episode, or you're a small business that would like to sponsor an episode, reach out to us in the link below.